It's been 3 years, and I have been hesitant to say anything about this, but it's something that I can no longer ignore, so I'm just going to say it. There's a rat situation. At first, I didn't even understand what I meant by that. Rat situation sounded like something you'd say about a kitchen problem, or maybe an alley behind a store. Not something that slowly becomes your entire life. It started at the gas station I worked at on night shifts. Nothing special, just fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, coffee that tasted like burnt coins, and the same 3 customers rotating through like clockwork. Then I saw it. Not a rat. Not at first. A shape. It moved too confidently to be an animal, but too wrong to be a person. It crossed between the pump islands around 2 in the morning. Then it paused under the light and looked directly at the camera like it knew where it was. When I checked the footage the next morning, there was nothing there. That should have been the end of it. But little did I know, this rat situation wasn't going away anytime soon. Over the next few weeks, things got smaller, subtler. A bag of chips on aisle 3 would be rearranged into a perfect spiral. A receipt printer would spit out long strips of paper with nothing but the word occupied. A single customer would swear they saw something move behind the slushy machine, but never in the reflection. And then the rats started showing up. Not in groups, not scavenging, just one at a time. Always in places they shouldn't be, sitting upright, still, watching. One night, I followed one into the storage room. It didn't run, it waited. When I opened the door, it was already facing me, like it had been expecting the conversation. That was the first time I heard it. Not a sound exactly, more like a thought that didn't belong to me. It sounded like someone told me, "You are noticing correctly." I left the store early that night. I told my manager I was sick. I didn't mention the rats. I thought I would be safe if I didn't go to work, but I was wrong. It followed me home. At first, just peripheral things. A shadow under the fridge. Scratching in the walls that stopped when I got close. The feeling that something had already moved through my apartment before I arrived. Then the messages started. Not written, not spoken, just appearing. For example, on reflective surfaces, it would briefly say, "You are part of the pattern now." The words never stayed long. A bathroom mirror would fog after a shower, and there they would be. A dark television screen would catch the light at the right angle, and there they would be. The surface of a spoon, a puddle, the reflection in a parked car window. Always gone the second I tried to show someone. I stopped sleeping well. Then I stopped sleeping entirely. Every night around 2:14 a.m., I would wake up with a certainty that someone had just left my apartment. Not entered, left. I'd search every room. Nothing. No signs of forced entry, no missing belongings. Just the lingering feeling that I had interrupted a meeting. I started keeping a journal. Not because I thought it would help, because I needed proof that things were actually happening. The first few pages made sense. Dates, times, rat sightings. By the 3rd week, there were entries I didn't remember writing. Entire paragraphs in my handwriting. Descriptions of places I'd never been. Lists of names I'd never heard before. And over again, one phrase. The occupied are not the hosts. One evening, I finally decided to leave town. I packed a bag, called out of work, loaded everything into my car. As I pulled onto the highway, I felt something for the first time in months. Relief. Then I looked into the rearview mirror. There was a rat sitting in the back seat. Not moving, not blinking, just watching me. I nearly crashed. I slammed the brakes, jumped out of the vehicle, and tore open every door. The back seat was empty, but scratched into the condensation on the inside of the window were 4 words. You misunderstand the direction. I didn't know what that meant. I do now. Because I wasn't leaving the rat situation. The rat situation was leaving me. Over the next few days, the sightings stopped. The messages disappeared. The scratching in the walls ended. For the first time in 3 years, everything was normal. And that terrified me. Because the absence felt planned. Like a performance had ended. Like whatever had been observing me had simply lost interest. A week later, I went back to work. The gas station was quiet. The night dragged by. At exactly 2:14 a.m., the receipt printer activated by itself. The paper fed out slowly, foot after foot after foot. I walked over and tore it free. There was only one line printed on it. No logo, no transaction, just a message. I still have it. It says, "Thank you for your participation." Below that was a number. Not a phone number, not a serial number. A count. 300. The next night it became 301. And yesterday morning, when I looked in the mirror, just for a second, I thought I saw something standing behind me. Not a rat. Not exactly. But whatever it was smiling. And I could have sworn it was counting. I turned back to the mirror, hoping that if I ignored it, then it would just go away. But as I gazed into the mirror, I no longer saw myself. I saw a rat, the size of an average human, standing on its hind legs, staring back at me. Just then, a rat of my height walked through the doorway of my bathroom and extended his hairless, rodent hand towards me. Its mouth started moving, and clear, precise words were spilling from it. "I am cheesed to meet you," it said, followed by, "Come, brother, the night is young and the cheese is fresh." Not wanting to be rude, I took his hand and we went to the gas station I worked at, and took all the cheese our little hairless rat hands could gather. We stuffed our mouths full with the food of the ancients that night. This is the life I live now. This is the life that I accept. I express this story to inspire others to take that step. That one step can change everything. It changed my life. It can change yours, too.